And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at the colors of Kasane, or Kasane, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name here. It comes in this little box which looks like it should contain some earrings and some nice fluffy thing for somebody. But it's actually a card game, and actually a beautiful little card game with some unique mechanisms, which the fact that it's from Japan should tell you that automatically, because they always have very intriguing, interesting games. That doesn't always make them good, so let's take a look at this one. Over the course of the game, you're going to be scoring points, which is kept track here on this tracker. These are 4 cards put together, and the game actually comes with little buttons that you will be able to use to keep track of your score, kind of keeping in the theme of this game. You're going to choose one of these young ladies here who is going to basically have clothes put on her, or you're building a dress of, you're going to have a possibility to put out 12 cards as the game progresses. Now the game is going to take place in 4 rounds. Now there are 16 cards out here. This is for a 4-player game. There's a few cards less in the deck with 3 players. But these cards are going to go from 1 to 9, and each card has a different pattern / color in the background, which is nice, especially for those who are colorblind. And there's also some 1-point cards in the deck. So on your turn, you must take one of the available cards, one of the top cards in a row, and add it to your hand. Now when you add cards to your hand, let's say later on I add the 7 to my hand, you must keep your hand in order. So if I add a 1 to my hand later on, I must put it here. I never shuffle these cards around, I never move the cards around. The only exception is these 1-point cards. When I take these, I simply score a point and add it to my girls scoring row down here. Now if I ever achieve a meld in my hand, I can also place that down. So let's say I place these 3 cards down like this. A 9, a 7, and a 1, and I'm going to score for that. Now how do I score these melds? Well, there's different melds up here, and when you score a meld, you're going to put a token on that meld to show that no one else can score it for the rest of the game. The melds that you can score, here, 3 and 9 in any order. Or here, a 1, 2, 6, and here a 4, 5, 7 in any order. The green ones are all odd numbers or all even numbers. So the ones I just put down, the 9, 7, 1 is all odd numbers, and it's 3 cards, so I put it here, and that would score me 2 points. Other things you can score here, you'll see here that the total value of the cards is 10, or below it here, all the cards are the same, like a pair, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, etc. And then over here we have straights. 5 to 9, it can go up or it can go down, ascending or descending, or 1 to 5, ascending or descending, will get you points. So you can see that if I did get 1 to 5 or 5 to 1, I would score 8 points. Now, when you're placing these cards, you're going to grab a card, or you place a card. Let's say in the future, I drew another 1 and I want to play this. I can use this as my pair, so I can play this on my turn and count that as a pair of cards, which in this instance would get me 2 points. So you can always use the top card of the cards that are already out there. Now, when there's cards equal to the number of players left, let's say these cards are all taken, there's only 4 cards left at that point in a 4-player game, then those 4 cards are discarded, everyone gets the same number of turns, and then you just deal out another 16 cards from the deck. Now, each time there's going to be 4 cards that aren't taken in a 4-player game, and so there's going to be 4 rounds of the game. The last rounds, all the cards that were not taken will be shuffled and put back in, and you start over again. At the end of the game, you're going to look at all the cards that you have in your mix down here for whatever reason, and you're going to get bonus points based on the number of different colors that you have. And it's kind of a weird thing here. I'm going to show you the scoring track. You'll notice that if all your cards are of 1 color, you'll get 5 bonus points. And if you have all 9 colors, you get 5 bonus points. But if you have 5 colors, you get none. This doesn't count the +1 points. You also get bonus points if you manage to get all 12 cards on the table. And that's it. Whoever has the most points then is the winner. Okay, I said it doesn't make them good, but this one definitely is good. Now, it's very unique and interesting. The fact that you have to keep the cards in your hand in order and play them means every card you take, you're thinking not about how does it fit with the cards in your hand, but how will it fit with the cards out there. There's a bit of chicken in the game in a sense that you're saying, okay, I got 2 of a kind here. That's an easy points to score, but maybe I can get 3 of a kind if so-and-so doesn't take that card, or if they do take that one. But if they do take that card, then I have that 2 of a kind in my hand. I have to take a card on my turn. What card am I going to take? Because I can ruin what I already have in my hand. And so usually you play very conservatively, trying to get the small groupings and get points. But if you play a little bit more on the edge and try to get a bigger group, you can score and win the game that way. And then, of course, you're thinking about the end of the game bonus scoring, which is not unsubstantial. It's interesting how 5 points and then two more bonus points for having all 12 cards out. That's 7 points, and that can swing the game in your direction. Then there's those bonus point cards. They're worth 1 point. That's great, but when's the best time to take those as opposed to trying to get more cards in your hand? Usually you're best taking those bonus point cards when you don't want to, you want to keep building the meld in your hand. And the different melds are interesting. You got odds and evens and straights and of a kind. That makes sense. But then you got the combination of random numbers. What are they? 1, 2, and 6. Just an interesting random mix of numbers, which gives not a ton of points, but, allows you to score. Very intriguing game, and it's very short, but it has some deep thought into it, and it does something that I've seen no other game do. I mean, in a sense, you got like this rummy feel from it, but in another sense, it's something cool that you're able to play. I highly recommend this one. It's light, it's gorgeous. It has something different to the table, something completely different in how you manipulate cards and put them down, and it's very quick, but when you play it, you'll probably say, let's try this one again. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
So just remember, you'd be shutting the door.